This may be the most important thing you ever read. This synopsis was put together as a measure to shed light on my book entitled HIV/AIDS Susceptibility and Racial Disparities. I, like many others, stood by observing the evolution and spread of HIV/AIDS around the world and noted the paradigm shift that took place during the late 1980s in terms of it going from a mostly white, male homosexual disease to one that affects people of color much more prodigiously. Further, it was most astounding to me and millions of others according to polls and tons of things I had read, seen in the media and heard stated personally and peculiar that HIV/AIDS seemed to have a proclivity for people of African descent. What was the reason for this penchant for blacks? I pondered. Then one day, I had a revelation. There must be certain factors that make blacks and other people of color more vulnerable to this disease. That was my hypothesis, and I set out to prove it correct. Subsequently, I conducted a 6-month research study to find answers. The information I uncovered along with that which I learned during and after my medical training was pieced together to compose HIV/AIDS susceptibility and racial disparities. Some of the things I learned during the course of my research study were stupefying. What I found truly compelling is the fact that a vast amount of researchers have been studying HIV for decades, giving rise to new information on a regular basis. Therefore, some of the most remarkable information that I came across had only been discovered within less than 5 years of my study. I was completely oblivious to the said information. This information involved characteristics of HIV and how it functions on a cellular level. Indeed, my hypothesis was proven correct. There are certain factors, environmental, socioeconomic, epidemiological and etc. that predispose people of color to this disease at a much higher rate than whites, although the average white man or woman are by no means immune to this disease. However, there are genetic traits seen within a certain small population of whites that does make them immune to HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS has the potential to make the Black Plague seem like an outbreak of the common cold. Make no mistake about it, this pandemic is a formidable foe to mankind, one that is not to be taken lightly. You can go to lulu.com to browse and order a copy of the book version of HIV/AIDS Susceptibility and Racial Disparities. Please feel free to do so, it will certainly be an eye-opening experience.